This is a Zaya beat.
Stop scrolling. This night could change your life. You felt it, the need for more peace, more clarity, more of God. But distractions, stress, and the noise of life keep pulling you away. What if one night could reset everything? Flow After Dark is that night. A 5-hour live YouTube experience designed to take you deeper into God's presence through prayer, journaling, worship, and stillness. This isn't just an event, it's a spiritual shift. So what can you expect? Breakthrough moments, feel God move like never before, a real connection, find your faith-filled community, people who actually get it, deep renewal, walk away refreshed, refocused, and fully present in His peace. The invite is open. Are you in? March 21st, 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. live on YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and like and share. Set your reminder now. Text FLOW to 816-670-3684 to stay connected and get event updates. If you're ready for a night that could transform your faith forever, drop a fire emoji in the comments. Let's find your flow together.
Can't see nobody stopping us. Unstoppable, unstoppable, unstoppable. Run up that paper and get it. Whatever it take, we gon' get it. You know ain't nobody stopping us.
Listen to this. I asked God, why are you taking me through rough waters? He replied, because your enemies can't swim.
I can't see nobody stopping us. Unstoppable, unstoppable, unstoppable. Run up that paper and get it. Whatever it take, we gon' get it. You know ain't nobody stopping us.
Stop scrolling. This night could change your life. You felt it, the need for more peace, more clarity, more of God. But distractions, stress, and the noise of life keep pulling you away. What if one night could reset everything? Flow After Dark is that night. A 5-hour live YouTube experience designed to take you deeper into God's presence through prayer, journaling, worship, and stillness. This isn't just an event, it's a spiritual shift. So what can you expect? Breakthrough moments, feel God move like never before, a real connection, find your faith-filled community, people who actually get it, deep renewal, walk away refreshed, refocused, and fully present in His peace. The invite is open. Are you in? March 21st, 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. live on YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and like and share. Set your reminder now. Text FLOW to 816-670-3684 to stay connected and get event updates. If you're ready for a night that could transform your faith forever, drop a fire emoji in the comments. Let's find your flow together. What it do, what it do, what it do there, fam. How's everybody doing this wonderful, wonderful evening? Welcome to this Thursday night of the shift. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like. Make sure you go ahead and hit that share so that way we can get this message out to as many people as we possibly can. I'm super excited. I'm Roman D, the encourager. Thank you so much for joining me, whether you're joining me on Facebook, on my Facebook page, or even on YouTube. We encourage you to go over to YouTube. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share button so that way we are able you'll be able to get all the information when we're going live and things of that nature. So I'm super excited for tonight. I'm not going to be before you long because you know what I'm amped up about tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we start the flow. We start Flow After Dark. Flow After Dark. You watch this. Stop scrolling. This night could change your life. You felt it. The need for more peace, more clarity, more of God. But distractions, stress, and the noise of life keep pulling you away. What if one night could reset everything? Flow After Dark is that night. A 5-hour live YouTube experience designed to take you deeper into God's presence through prayer, journaling, worship, and stillness. This isn't just an event, it's a spiritual shift. So what can you expect? Breakthrough moments, feel God move like never before, a real connection, find your faith-filled community, people who actually get it, deep renewal, walk away refreshed, refocused, and fully present in His peace. The invite is open. Are you in? March 21st, 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. live on YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and like and share. Set your reminder now. Text FLOW to 816-670-3684 to stay connected and get event updates. If you're ready for a night that could transform your faith forever, drop a fire emoji in the comments. Let's find your flow together. Yeah. So we want you to join us. If you want to connect with us, go ahead and text FLOW to 816-670-3684. Text FLOW to 816-670-3684. What it do there, boo? Hey there, boo. My boo thing. What it do, Lady E? Hey there, beautiful. Good. Thank you for being on here with your mans. And so let's go ahead and get into it. So let's talk about it. Why am I so tired? Why am I so tired? This is a question that a lot of people are asking, a lot of people are dealing with, because you seem to always be exhausted. But it's not just about sleeping. What if your mind, emotions, and spirit are drained? Let's talk about why you're tired all the time. Because let's be honest, let's keep it a buck. Life is demanding. You got work, you got family, you got relationships, you got expectations about you from every direction. But fatigue isn't always just physical. Many times, fatigue can be emotional, fatigue can be mental, and even spiritual. And if you don't fix it, it will break you. It will destroy you. Because here's the problem. Hey, what's up, Kurt? What it do, Kurt? Because here's the problem. You find yourself running on empty. You know, everything that we have has a signal in most cases to let us know it's low on power, it's low on energy, whatever the case may be. You in your car and your car's gas is about to run out. Your gas light comes on to let you know, hey, you about to run out of gas. You your phone charger, your phone it charges to a certain point and it gets to a point and you can have it set up to let you know, hey, I'm about to go off. your power about to end. It's about to run out. But the problem with many of us, we ignore those signs that we're running on empty. You get to a point where you're busy, but you're not productive. Have you ever found yourself doing stuff, but then looked at the fruit and didn't see the fruit? Have you constantly been moving, but then when you needed something from what you were supposed to been doing, there was no productivity, there was no fruit to bear? Why? Maybe it's because you've been busy but not productive. And whenever we get to the point where we're not bearing fruit from whatever we're doing, it causes us to run on empty. It causes us to run on low because we are by nature, when we're doing something and we can see the benefit of us doing it, if we can see the results of us doing it, then it gives us that extra oomph, that extra motivation to keep doing it. And so many times what you got to find yourself is you got to fight through those moments and understand how to recharge yourself and how to help yourself. What it do, LaBrittany? What's up? What's up, LaBrittany? How you doing? You got to understand that you can't just keep staying busy without being productive. Or you may even say yes to everything but yourself. It isn't amazing how we could tell everybody yes, but then we deny the person who's doing it, which is ourselves. You're helping everybody else's vision. You're helping everybody else's goal. But what about you? You cannot pour from an empty container. If on the inside of you, you feel empty, you feel burnt out, you feel running on low because the tank has been letting you know, hey, you ain't got nothing else to give. You don't have any more energy to give. You don't have any more energy to pour into others. You got to take the time to make sure that you are refilling you, because if you are not filled, you cannot fill others. Hey there, mama. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? And so you got to make sure, it's vitally important that we make sure that we're not running on empty. Has any of you ever experienced that? You was running on empty and you was trying to help everybody else. You didn't really have much energy, but yet you was trying to help somebody else. You didn't know how you was gonna get out of your situation, but yet you was trying to help someone else. And what it causes when you're running on empty, you're busy, but you're not productive. You say yes to everything but to yourself. And then our last one, you're carrying burdens that were never yours to hold. Oh my goodness. You're carrying burdens that were never yours to hold. And here's the crazy thing. We start to take on other people's struggles. We start to carry other people's loads. Now, there's a difference between carrying somebody else's load and helping them carry their load. That's two different things. There are times that we can help others and help them get to where they need to go and to help them in certain points. But then many times what we do is we take their trash, we take their burden, we take their load, and we begin to carry it. You see this at other people's offense. They don't like somebody, and because you feel like you're so connected to them, you start not liking somebody, and you have literally carried a burden that was never yours to carry. And so when we understand that the problem is we're running on empty. So what is the key moment? What is the shift for us? The shift is that we begin to understand rest is a necessity, not a luxury. Rest is a necessity, not a luxury. You're going to need rest because overworking won't heal what's broken inside. Oh, I'm going to say that one more time. Overworking won't heal what's broken inside. Many of us think if we put more work in, if I grind more, if I hustle more, then it will heal the pain that's on the inside of me. And the truth of the matter is, let me warn you, you will never find healing from your broken places in the midst of doing stuff. Healing only comes when we understand, first of all, what is broken. Then we come up with a game plan to make sure that we're healed and whole. When we don't understand that we operating out of a broken place and us doing stuff out of a broken place will never bring us towards healing. It's only through the God of our salvation that we are able to be healed and restored and renewed and refreshed when we begin to trust him to rest. I've been taught this: rest is the test. Rest is the test, because most of us think I need to do more stuff. But the problem is, as you do more, you begin to expense more energy and use more energy, and therefore you're running yourself into the ground. This is why I believe a lot of people are dying at young ages, because they're constantly running themselves in the ground. They're not taking care of themselves. They're not putting themselves before others. Even the Bible says you should love God, but then it says you should love your neighbor as yourself. Now, many people think that means I love my neighbors more than I love me. No, I love my neighbor like I love me. But if I don't love me, how can I then love my neighbor? And so you find yourself, you're overworking, and please get this, your overworking won't heal what's broken on the inside of you. Here's another thing. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't pour from an empty container. If you don't have anything on the inside of you, what are you going to give to others? This is important. I don't care. I don't care how wise you think you are. I don't care how strong you think you are. You being empty doesn't benefit anyone in your life. Matter of fact, you become a burden rather than an asset when you're running on empty. When you don't take time to rejuvenate, when you don't take time to rest, when you don't take time to be restored, when you don't take time to pour into yourself, when you don't take time to read, when you don't take time to educate yourself, how can you pour into others? How can you uplift others? How can you push others in their destiny when you're stuck? when you're empty, when you don't have anything to pour, because this is something we must understand, Curtis. We got to understand rest is resistant against a world that glorifies burnout. Rest is resistance against a world that glorifies burnout. And especially if you got a relationship with God, you got to understand that you are not supposed to operate like the world operates. I think this is many Christians' problems. We're trying to get God results while operating as the world operates. We're trying to get word results based upon what the world is doing. And the truth of the matter is, when you see even people in the Bible, even people today who operate according to the principles of God, according to the word of God, we operate on another level. And so what happens is when you try to come down and operate as the world operates, you bring yourself down. You bring yourself down. So now you don't have available to you the wisdom of God, the favor of God, the strength to endure, the miracle working power of God, the plans and the strategies of God, because you chose to come down to normal people. This is why Matthew 11:28 says, come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest. Rest is the test. Rest is the test. In your greatest struggles, can you take time to just rest? You know what happens when you rest? When you rest, you're saying, God, I trust that even in this moment where I'm trying to figure it out and trying to work it out, because you are God and God all by yourself, I trust you, God. So I'm just going to rest. I'm going to take my hands off of it. I'm going to allow you to lead and guide me in this situation. So if we understand that the problem is you're running on empty, if we understand rest is a necessity, not a luxury, what's a solution? How to refill your energy tank. So how do I refill my energy tank? Number one, you got to create a real rest routine. That's body, spirit, and soul. You got to create a real rest routine that is body, soul, and spirit. Remember, we are a spirit, we possess a soul, and we live in a body. You can go to 1 Thessalonians 5:22 to see that. 1 Thessalonians 5:22. Let's know that we are a spirit, we live in a body, and we possess a soul. And so you have to rest. You have to rest in your body, in your spirit, and your soul, that you may literally be able to do what you've been created to do. Not only do we got to create a real rest routine, a spirit, soul, and body, but then you got to say no without guilt. You can't tell everybody yes all the time. You have to learn how to say no. You know, we talked about in the previous is create a real rest routine. And in this rest routine, there are times that you set aside just to rest. You set aside to let your mind just calm down. You set aside to allow you to just rest. When you decide when your time of rest is, you cannot allow others to infringe upon your rest. Yeah, because this is what I learned. What's important to me is not necessarily important to other people. Can I blow your mind? What's an emergency to me is not an emergency to everybody. And many of us think that our emergency is everybody's emergency. Are you understanding that? Do you really understand? And so you got to understand, you cannot make everybody else's emergency your emergency. So you got to learn to say no without guilt. Because sometimes you have to put you first. Sometimes you got to make sure you're not running on empty. Sometimes you got to realize that your rest is a necessity and not a luxury. And so you got to create a rest routine. You got to learn to say no without guilt and shame. And then you got to let go of responsibility that aren't yours. Oh my goodness. You got to let go of responsibilities that aren't yours. And many times, especially if you do ministry and you do things of that nature, and you have your assignments and other people have their assignments, and this is what I've seen happen. This is what I've seen happen, that other people drop the ball in their assignments. And so what happens is other people pick up the slack for them dropping the ball, instead of holding them accountable for them dropping the ball. And what happens is when you do that over and over again, where you're taking other people's responsibility, they start to depend on you to carry out their responsibility. And so they never really give an effort because they feel like you're going to jump in to pick up the responsibility. And what happens is you don't allow them to develop, you don't allow them to grow because you're carrying their responsibility for them. But can I blow your mind? Even parents, you can't do everything for your children. Sometimes you have to allow them to carry their responsibility. Does this make sense? You gotta allow people. Now you can do it in a loving way. You ain't gotta be mean about it and things of that nature. You can always be there to have their back, to give them that encouragement and that push to do it. But you gotta let go of responsibilities that are not yours. And so how do we refuel our energy tank? We create a real rest routine. We say no without guilt. We let go of responsibilities that are not yours. Yeah, Lady E. Yeah, you got to have boundaries. You got to have boundaries. One of my favorite shows was Dave Chappelle's show. And he talked about, Charlie Murphy talked about how Rick James was a habitual line stepper. And you have those type of people in your life. They're going to constantly try to go across the line, because the more times you let them and the further you let them go, you extend your boundaries. You go outside of your boundaries. At any time you step outside of boundaries, it opens you for danger. It opens you to be hurt. It opens for you to be drained. It opens for you to not walk in your full purpose. It opens the door for you to get off focus. It opens the door that you can't hear God's voice as clearly as you once did. Why? Because you're stepping outside of boundaries. And you put yourself in harm's way. And you put yourself in danger. And therefore, you put your family in harm's way. And you put your family in danger. You put those who are connected to you in danger, because now they may have to pick up a slack that they was never meant to carry. I believe one of the problems with family, the main problem with family, is because we don't have the mother and the father in the home or in the family relationship. You got people carrying weight that they were never meant to carry. Right, and that's on both ends. That's on the father, that's on the mother. You got fathers who are absent, and so the mothers have to do things that the father would do to protect and to provide and all this wonderful things, and they're carrying on this extra burden. Or if the mother's not there, the father has to carry on the burdens. He has to nurture. He has to give those words of encouragement. And the problem is they both struggle with bringing balance, because part of what they're doing, they were never created to do. and everybody's out of balance because most of the time you will lean toward the area that you was most created to do. And so, why am I so tired? I'm tired because I don't have a rest routine. I'm tired because I can't say no without guilt. I'm tired because I'm not letting go of responsibilities that aren't mine. I'm tired because I'm overworking myself and I'm trying to heal myself through and having my brokenness healed through my overworking. I'm tired because I'm busy, but I'm not productive. I'm tired because I say yes to everything but to myself. I'm tired because I'm carrying burdens that were never meant for me to carry. And so you got to understand, you cannot allow yourself to always be tired. You got to do something about it. Just recently, the other week, it was a couple Wednesdays ago. Oh my goodness, I was extremely tired. I don't even know why I was tired, but I was tired. And you know what I did? I rested. I text Pastor Amber. I say, I ain't gonna be on groups tonight. I just feel weird and I feel worn out, and I rested. I went to sleep that night, and here's the crazy thing: I woke up the next morning, and I felt refreshed. Because remember, rest is a necessity, not a luxury. You can't pour from an empty container. And so when I took that time to rest, it rejuvenated me that I may continue to do what I'm called and created to do. So drop a thumbs up in the comments if you're tired of being tired. Drop a thumbs up if you're tired of being tired. And you're gonna make sure you get you a rest routine, real rest routine. You're gonna say no without guilt, and you're gonna let go of responsibilities that are not yours. And so, oh my goodness, thank you guys so much. I'm super excited for tomorrow night. We got Flow After Dark tomorrow starting at 7 p.m. Watch this. Stop scrolling. This night could change your life. You felt it, the need for more peace, more clarity, more of God. But distractions, stress, and the noise of life keep pulling you away. What if one night could reset everything? Flow After Dark is that night. A 5-hour live YouTube experience designed to take you deeper into God's presence through prayer, journaling, worship, and stillness. This isn't just an event, it's a spiritual shift. So what can you expect? Breakthrough moments. Feel God move like never before. A real connection. Find your faith-filled community. People who actually get it. Deep renewal. Walk away refreshed, refocused, and fully present in His peace. The invite is open. Are you in? March 21st, 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. live on YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and like and share. Set your reminder now. Text FLOW to 816-670-3684 to stay connected and get event updates. If you're ready for a night that could transform your faith forever, drop a fire emoji in the comments. Let's find your flow together. Yeah. So join us tomorrow. I saw you, little Brittany. She said, after I had my stroke, I refused to run myself to the ground again. Yeah. You got to take that time to rest. Rest is is a necessity, not a luxury. Rest is a necessity, not a luxury. So I appreciate you. I can't wait to see you tomorrow evening for Flow After Dark, 7 p.m. to midnight. We're going to be seeking the face of God. We're going to be helping you get into the presence of God through meditation, journaling, silence, prayer, praise. It's going to be awesome. So we can't wait to see you. God bless you. And just remember, thanks for watching The Shift. Thanks for watching The Shift. Even the smallest shift today can lead to your biggest breakthrough tomorrow. See you next time.